Hello and welcome to the Glow and Grow channel, where you can relax, listen to simple English, and slowly improve your listening skills. Today, I want to talk about a powerful idea that can change the way you live, learn, and grow. That idea is called a growth mindset. A growth mindset begins with one simple belief. You are not finished yet. You can still learn. You can still improve. You can still become better than you are today. Many people believe the opposite. They think they are either naturally good at something or naturally bad at it. They say, I am not smart enough. I am not confident. I am not talented. I am just not the kind of person who can do this. And after saying these things again and again, they begin to believe them. They stop trying. They become afraid of mistakes. They avoid challenges. Slowly, they make their life smaller. Not because they truly cannot grow, but because they no longer believe they can. But here is an important truth. Just because something is hard now, does not mean it will always be hard. Just because you are not good at something today, does not mean you will never be good at it. Being bad at the beginning is not failure. Very often, it is simply the beginning of learning. Let me ask you a question. What do you say to yourself when something feels difficult? Do you say, I can't do this? Do you say, this is not for me? Do you say, maybe other people can do it, but not me? Many people do. And this is where the problem begins. Because the way you speak to yourself shapes the way you live. If you believe your ability is fixed, every mistake feels heavy. Every slow result feels like proof that you are not enough. But if you have a growth mindset, you begin to think differently. You start to say, this is hard, but I can learn. I am slow now, but I can improve. I may not be there yet, but I am not finished. That small change in thinking can create a very different future. Think about someone who wants to become healthier. On the first day, they go for a short walk. Maybe they feel tired after 10 minutes. Maybe their body feels heavy. Maybe they look at other people running and think, I am so far behind. At that moment, they have two choices. They can say, this is too hard. Maybe I am just not the kind of person who can be healthy. Or they can say, this is only the beginning. I am still learning. I am still growing. Then they walk again the next day. And again, and again. At first the change is very small, but after some time, they become stronger. Their energy improves. Their body changes, and something else changes too. Their belief in themselves begins to grow. That is how a growth mindset works. It helps you stay with the process long enough to see the result. One of the most important parts of a growth mindset is learning how to see mistakes in a new way. Many people are afraid of mistakes because they think mistakes mean they are not good enough. They want to do everything well the first time. They want to look capable. They want to avoid embarrassment. But real growth does not happen when everything is easy. Real growth often begins when things feel awkward, uncomfortable, and new. A mistake does not always mean you are bad at something. Sometimes it simply means you are still learning. Imagine a child learning to ride a bicycle. They may fall many times. They may feel scared. They may not do it well at first. But no one says, "You fell down, so maybe riding a bicycle is not for you." No, they try again. Slowly, they learn balance. Slowly, they become more confident. And one day, something that once felt impossible becomes normal. Many things in life work like that. Confidence often comes after practice, not before it. Another important part of a growth mindset is patience. Growth is often quiet. It is often slow. Sometimes you try your best and still do not see big results right away. This is where many people give up. They think, nothing is changing. But often, something is changing. It is just happening more slowly than they expected. Growth is like learning a song on the piano. On the first day, your fingers feel awkward. The notes sound broken. It does not sound beautiful yet. On the second day, it is still not easy. But if you keep practicing, your hands slowly remember where to go. The sound becomes smoother. The music becomes clearer. One day, you play the song that once felt impossible. Growth can be like that too. Your confidence may be growing quietly. Your skill may be growing quietly. Your mindset may be changing quietly. Do not stop just because the result is not big yet. A growth mindset also means not comparing your beginning to someone else's middle. This is something many people forget. They look at someone successful and think, they are better than me. They are naturally talented. I will never be like them. But they often do not see the full story. They do not see the years of practice. They do not see the mistakes. They do not see the hard days. So be careful with comparison. Comparison can make you feel small and tired. Instead of asking, "Why am I not like them?" ask, "Am I growing? Am I learning? Am I becoming a little better than before?" Those questions are healthier. Those questions help you keep moving. So how can you build a growth mindset in daily life? Start with your words. When something feels difficult, do not say, "I can't do this." Say, "I can't do this yet." That one word can change your thinking. It reminds you that your story is still growing. When you make a mistake, do not say, "I am terrible." Say, "I am learning." When progress feels slow, do not say, "Nothing is happening." Say, "I am still growing, even if I cannot see it clearly yet." These are small changes, but they matter. Before you leave this episode, remember this. The person you are today is not the final version of you. You can learn. You can improve. You can grow. So be patient with yourself. Keep practicing. Keep trying. Keep believing that change is possible. Because when you start to live with a growth mindset, you do not only change what you do, you change what you believe is possible for your life. Today we are going to talk about a very important idea. Invest in yourself. Let me ask you a simple question. If you had 10 minutes today, where would you invest it? Many people spend those 10 minutes scrolling on their phone and watching other people's lives. But imagine using those same 10 minutes to learn something new, practice a skill, or improve your mindset. Over time, those 10 minutes can slowly change your life. This is what investing in yourself really means. And here is something important to understand. Investing in yourself does not always mean doing something big or dramatic. It often starts with small and simple actions. It means using your time and energy to grow a little every day. Learning something new, improving a skill, taking care of your mind, or building better habits. These small investments may not look powerful in one day, but over time, they slowly build a stronger and better version of you. And there is another important reason why investing in yourself matters so much. It is one of the few investments you will almost never regret. Money can be lost. Plans can change. Opportunities sometimes disappear. But the knowledge you gain, the skills you practice, and the mindset you build stay with you for a very long time. No one can take them away from you. When you learn something new, it becomes part of who you are. When you build a new skill, it opens new doors in your future. When you grow stronger inside, you can face challenges with more confidence. This is why investing in yourself is so powerful. Because every small improvement you make today continues helping you tomorrow, next year, and even many years from now. And once we understand why investing in ourselves is so valuable, the next question becomes very simple. What does it actually look like in everyday life? The good news is that investing in yourself does not need to be complicated. In fact, it often happens through very small daily actions. For example, you can invest in your knowledge by reading a few pages of a book or learning something new online. You can invest in your skills by practicing a language, writing a few sentences, or improving a skill you care about. You can also invest in your mind by taking time to reflect, staying calm during a difficult moment, or choosing thoughts that help you grow. Some people invest in their health by exercising, walking, or getting enough rest. None of these actions look dramatic in one day. But when you repeat them every day, they slowly build a stronger, wiser, and more confident version of yourself. Another way to invest in yourself is by taking care of your mind. Many people spend a lot of time worrying about what other people think. They compare their progress with someone else's progress. They look at other people's success and feel discouraged. But comparison is not an investment. Comparison only steals your energy. Instead of looking at other people's life, you can look at your own path. Ask yourself a simple question. What is one small thing I can improve today? Maybe you become a little more patient. Maybe you learn a new word. Maybe you try something that feels a little uncomfortable. These actions may feel small, but they are powerful over time. Let me share a short story. A few years ago, I knew someone who wanted to become more confident, but he always believed he was not good enough. Every time he saw someone more successful, he felt discouraged. One day, he decided to try something different. Instead of focusing on other people, he decided to focus on improving himself just a little bit every day. He started reading 10 pages of a book each day. He practiced speaking in front of the mirror for a few minutes. He tried learning one new skill every month. At first, the changes were very small. But after a few months, something surprising happened. His confidence began to grow. He started feeling stronger. He started believing in himself more. Not because he suddenly became perfect, but because he invested in himself every day. This is how real growth happens. Not in one big moment, but in many small moments. Imagine saving $1 every day. $1 may not look important, but after many months, the money grows. Personal growth works the same way. One small habit, one small improvement, one small step forward. And over time, these small steps create a new version of you. The most important thing to remember is this: you are the most important project in your life. Your knowledge, your skills, your mindset, and your health will stay with you longer than any job, any trend, or any social media post. When you invest in yourself, you are building a stronger future. So today, try something simple. Take 10 minutes to learn something new. Practice a skill you care about. Read a few pages of a good book. Or simply take a quiet moment to think about your goals. These small actions may not feel dramatic, but they are powerful. And if you repeat them every day, something beautiful begins to happen. You begin to grow. Your confidence becomes stronger. Your mind becomes clearer. Your future becomes brighter. One day, you may look back and realize something important. The best investment you ever made was not money. It was the time and effort you gave to becoming a better version of yourself. So remember this simple idea. Invest in yourself. Because when you grow, your whole life grows with you. Have you ever opened your phone just to relax for a few minutes, but after scrolling for a while, you suddenly feel like your life is not good enough? Maybe you see someone traveling to a beautiful place, someone else starting a new business, another person sharing a big achievement. At first, you are just watching. But slowly, a quiet thought appears in your mind. Everyone is moving forward except me. And without realizing it, your attention slowly leaves your own life and begins to live inside everyone else's story. But here is something most people never stop to ask. If you spend so much time watching everyone else's life, who is actually building yours? This is something very important to understand. Your attention is like energy. Wherever your attention goes, your energy follows. If your attention is always on other people, your energy goes there too. Their progress fills your mind, and their success affects how you feel. But when your attention returns to your own life, something different begins to happen. Your energy starts helping your own growth. Think about a simple situation. Imagine you want to learn English. You sit down and start watching a lesson. For a few minutes, you are focused. But then you open social media. You see someone speaking English very fluently. Another person says they learned English in 6 months. Someone else posts a perfect video speaking English. Suddenly, a thought appears in your mind. Maybe I am too slow. When that thought appears, your motivation becomes weaker. But here is the truth many people forget. The problem is not your ability. The problem is where your attention is going. Attention works like a flashlight in a dark room. Wherever you point the light, that place becomes clear. If you point the light at the wall, you see the wall. If you point the light at the floor, you see the floor. Your attention works the same way. If you focus on other people's lives, you mostly see their success and their progress. But if you focus on your own life, you begin to see something different. You start seeing your own opportunities, your own ideas, and your own next step. Let me tell you a short story. I once knew someone who wanted to improve his English. At first, he was very motivated. He watched videos every day and tried to learn new words. But after some time, he started comparing himself with other learners. Some people spoke more fluently. Some people learned faster. Some people sounded very confident. Every time he listened to them, he felt discouraged and began thinking, maybe I am just not good at this. Slowly, he practiced less and less. Not because he could not improve, but because comparison was taking away his energy. One day, he tried something different. Instead of asking, "Who is better than me?" he asked himself a simple question. What is one small thing I can improve today? Some days he learned 5 new words. Some days he listened to English for 10 minutes. Some days he practiced speaking one simple sentence. The improvement was small, and sometimes almost invisible. But he continued doing it every day. After a few months, something interesting happened. His listening became easier, and his speaking became more confident. Not because he was the best learner, but because he focused on his own progress. This is an important lesson. Growth becomes easier when we stop comparing and start improving. Another way to understand this is to imagine a mirror. A mirror helps you see yourself clearly. You notice small changes. Maybe you are stronger than last year. Maybe you are calmer in difficult situations. Maybe you are learning new skills. But imagine turning that mirror away from yourself and pointing it toward everyone else. Now the mirror no longer helps you because you only see other people. Many people live like this. Their attention becomes a mirror that only shows other people's lives. But when you turn the mirror back toward yourself, something changes. You begin to see your own progress again. Maybe you are more patient than before. Maybe you are learning something new. Maybe you are slowly becoming stronger after a difficult time. These changes may be small, but they are real. And when you notice your own progress, confidence begins to grow. Confidence does not come from being better than everyone else. Confidence comes from seeing yourself improve, step by step. So here is something simple you can try today. Instead of asking, "Who is doing better than me?" ask yourself, what is one small thing I can do better today? Maybe you read 1 more page, practice 10 more minutes, or take one small step toward your goal. These steps may look small, but when you repeat them every day, they slowly change your life. When you focus on your own path, life becomes calmer and clearer. You stop competing with everyone else and start growing at your own pace. And one day you may realize something important. The real goal was never to be better than others. The real goal was simply to become a better version of yourself. So before you continue your day, ask yourself one simple question. What is one small step I can take today? Because remember this: your life grows where your attention goes. Before we begin, let me ask you a simple question. How many times have you checked your phone today? Was it 10 times? Maybe 50? Or maybe you stopped counting a long time ago? In modern life, our phones are always near us. Notifications keep appearing. Messages keep coming. And without noticing, our attention slowly becomes more and more scattered. Today, we are going to talk about something that quietly affects almost everyone: digital detox, and how taking small breaks from our screens can help us reclaim our time, our focus, and the calm space in our minds. Many people do not realize how deeply technology has entered their daily routine. For many of us, the phone is the first thing we see in the morning and the last thing we see before we sleep. During the day, we check messages, scroll through social media, read news, watch short videos, and reply to notifications again and again. Sometimes we open our phone without even knowing why. It simply becomes a habit. Technology is very useful. It helps us communicate, learn, and work. But when we use it too much, something interesting begins to happen. Our attention becomes weaker. Instead of focusing deeply on one thing, our mind jumps quickly from one notification to another. One message, one video, one post, one comment. Slowly, our mind becomes used to constant stimulation. And when we try to sit quietly or focus on something important, it suddenly feels difficult. This is one reason why many people today feel mentally tired, even when they are not doing physically difficult work. Their mind is always active and always receiving new information. Another problem is that digital life can pull us away from the present moment. Imagine sitting with a friend at a cafe. But instead of talking and enjoying the moment, both people are looking at their phones. Or imagine walking in a beautiful park, but your attention is inside a small screen. Sometimes we are physically present, but mentally somewhere else. This is where the idea of digital detox becomes helpful. Digital detox simply means taking small breaks from constant digital stimulation. It does not mean that technology is bad. Technology can be very helpful and important in our lives. Digital detox only means creating healthy boundaries so that technology does not control all of our attention. The goal is not to remove technology from life, but to bring balance back. Let me share a simple example from my own experience. One evening, I opened my phone to check one message. But after that, I watched a short video, then another video, and then I opened social media. When I finally looked at the time, almost 30 minutes had passed. And when I put my phone down, I felt strangely tired. Not physically tired, but mentally tired. At that moment, I realized something important. My attention was being pulled in many different directions all the time. So I decided to try a small experiment. I did not delete all my apps, and I did not stop using my phone completely. Instead, I created small moments during the day where my phone was not present. For example, I stopped using my phone during meals. I also stopped checking my phone immediately after waking up. Instead, I gave myself about 10 quiet minutes in the morning before looking at any screen. At night, I tried to stop using my phone at least 30 minutes before sleep. At first, these changes felt a little uncomfortable. My mind still wanted to check notifications. But after a few days, something interesting happened. My mind became calmer. I started to notice small details again. I could hear the sound of birds outside. I could enjoy the feeling of fresh air during a walk. I could pay more attention to the taste of food during meals. Simple moments suddenly felt more enjoyable. This is one of the beautiful effects of digital detox. When our attention returns to the real world, life begins to feel richer and more meaningful. Another benefit is better focus. When our mind is not constantly interrupted by notifications, it becomes easier to concentrate. Reading becomes easier. Learning becomes easier. Creative thinking becomes easier. Even conversations with other people can become deeper and more meaningful. The good news is that digital detox does not need to be extreme. In fact, small changes are often the most powerful. You can create small, phone-free moments during the day. Maybe the first 10 minutes after waking up. Maybe during meals. Maybe during a walk outside. Or maybe the last 30 minutes before going to sleep. These small spaces allow your mind to rest and breathe. And slowly, something beautiful begins to happen. Your mind becomes clearer. Your focus becomes stronger. Your stress becomes lower. And you begin to feel more present in your own life. So today, try asking yourself a simple question. How much of my attention is living inside my phone? And how much of my attention is living in the real world around me? Technology should support our life, not replace it. When we sometimes step away from the screen, we begin to reclaim something very important: our attention, our time, and our life. So remember this simple idea. You do not need to disconnect from the world. Sometimes you only need to disconnect from the screen for a while. And when you do, you may discover that the real world has been waiting for your attention all along. Have you ever tried something new and immediately thought, I can't do this? Maybe you tried to learn a new skill, speak in front of people, or start a project. And after a few mistakes, you told yourself, maybe I'm just not good at this. Many people feel this way. But sometimes the problem is not our ability. The problem is that we stop too early. Today, I want to share a simple idea with you. You are often much better than you think. Many people underestimate themselves. They see only their mistakes and forget how much they are capable of learning. Think about a child learning to walk. The child falls many times. But the child does not say, walking is not for me. The child simply tries again. Step by step, the child becomes stronger. After some time, walking becomes natural. If adults learn new skills with the same patience, we would probably surprise ourselves much more often. There is also something interesting about the human brain. Our brain learns through practice. When we repeat something many times, the brain slowly builds new connections. At first, everything feels difficult and uncomfortable. But little by little, the brain adapts. Skills that once felt impossible begin to feel normal. This is why many successful people say the same thing. They were not always confident in the beginning. Many of them simply continued practicing when things were difficult. Over time, their ability grew. Imagine someone learning a new language. At first, they understand almost nothing. Speaking feels embarrassing. But if they practice a little every day, something amazing happens. After a few months, they begin to understand more words. After a year, they can hold simple conversations. The person who once believed I'm bad at languages may suddenly realize they can communicate with people from another country. Life works in a similar way. Many limits we feel are only temporary. They are often just the result of not practicing long enough. Sometimes we judge ourselves too quickly. We try something for a short time. It feels difficult. And we decide that we are not talented. But talent often grows slowly. Confidence grows slowly too. You may not see your full potential yet, and that is completely normal. Potential is like a seed. At the beginning, you cannot see the tree. But if the seed receives time, patience, and care, it will eventually grow. The same is true for your abilities. When you give yourself time to learn, improve, and make mistakes, you begin to discover strengths you did not know you had. So the next time you feel like giving up on something, pause for a moment. Ask yourself one simple question. Is this really impossible? Or have I just not practiced enough yet? Because many times, the difference between someone who succeeds and someone who stops is not talent. It is simply the decision to keep going. You are learning. You are growing. You are changing. And very often, you are already much better than you think. Before we end today's episode, I want to ask you something. What is one thing you once believed you could not do, but later discovered you actually could? Sometimes remembering those moments can remind us of an important truth. Our abilities are often much greater than our doubts. In this video, I want to talk about something that many people need to hear. Trust your journey. Sometimes life does not look clear. Sometimes you feel lost. Sometimes you look at your progress and think, am I really going anywhere? You may feel like other people are moving faster than you. You may feel like your dream is still too far away. You may even feel afraid to keep going. But this is exactly when trust becomes important. Because not every good thing in life appears quickly. Not every beautiful journey is easy at the beginning. And not every step makes sense right away. Many people stop too early. Not because they are weak, but because they are afraid. They are afraid of failure. Afraid of rejection, afraid of wasting time, afraid that things may not work out. Fear can be very powerful. It can make you stay in the same place for a long time. It can make you choose safety over growth. It can make you doubt your own path before it even has the chance to open. But here is something important to remember. Fear does not always mean you are on the wrong path. Sometimes fear appears because you are standing in front of something new, something meaningful, and something bigger than your old life. Fear often comes when you are about to grow. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine a person who wants to speak English better. They want to share their ideas. They want to speak with confidence. They want to feel free when they use the language. But every time they try, they feel nervous. They are afraid of making mistakes. They are afraid that other people may laugh. They are afraid they are not good enough. So they stay quiet. They wait. They tell themselves, maybe later. Maybe when I am better. Maybe when I am more ready. But weeks pass. Months pass. And nothing changes. Not because the dream is impossible, but because fear keeps standing at the door. Now imagine that same person chooses a different way. They still feel afraid, but they decide to speak a little anyway. They practice one small sentence, then another, then another. Slowly, they improve. Slowly, their confidence grows. And one day, they realize something beautiful. The fear was not the end of the story. It was just the beginning of a new chapter. Life can be like that too. Sometimes the life you want is waiting on the other side of fear. The dream you want may ask you to be brave first. It may ask you to keep walking before you can see the whole road. And yes, that is hard. We all want clear signs. We all want to know that our effort will lead somewhere good. But life does not always work that way. Sometimes it only gives you the next step. Not the whole map. Just the next step. And that can be enough. You do not need to know everything about your future. You only need enough courage to keep moving. Because life may be holding bigger rewards for you than you can see today. New chances, new strength, new joy. Maybe even a life more beautiful than the one you can imagine now. So be careful not to let fear choose everything for you. Fear usually shows you what could go wrong. But trust helps you remember what could go right. Fear says, stay where you are. Trust says, keep going. There may be something beautiful ahead. Fear says, what if you fail? Trust says, what if this journey changes your life in a good way? And many times, the greatest reward is not only reaching the dream. The greatest reward is also who you become while moving toward it. You become stronger, calmer, wiser, more honest with yourself, more able to handle life, more able to believe in your own strength. That is why every step matters, even the small ones. Maybe right now your journey feels slow. Maybe your dream still feels far away. Maybe you are tired. Maybe you are afraid. But that does not mean you should stop believing. A slow journey can still be a beautiful journey. A difficult season can still lead to a meaningful future. What matters is that you do not let fear become the voice that controls your whole life. Instead, learn to walk with courage, even if your courage is quiet. Courage does not always look big and dramatic. Sometimes, courage is very small. It is sending the message, starting the class, speaking the truth, trying again, resting, then beginning once more, trusting your path one more day. That is courage too. So if you are feeling uncertain right now, please remember this. You do not have to know everything. You do not have to feel ready all the time. and you do not have to remove all fear before you begin. You only need to keep moving with faith in your heart. Trust that your life is still unfolding. Trust that your effort matters. Trust that not all good things can be seen at the beginning. Trust that the road in front of you may hold more beauty, meaning, and reward than you can imagine today. And most of all, trust yourself. Trust the person you are becoming. Trust the lessons you are learning. Trust the dream that keeps calling you forward. Because when you stop letting fear lead your life, you make space for something better. You make space for growth. You make space for hope. You make space for the beautiful journey that is still waiting for you. Every day we spend so much energy working, thinking, and worrying. But many people forget one very important thing. We forget to recharge ourselves. In today's episode, we will talk about how to gently recharge your energy and bring calm back into your mind. Have you ever felt tired even when you did not do something very difficult? Maybe you wake up, check your phone, answer messages, study, work, and talk with people all day. At night you feel very tired, but you are not sure why. This happens to many people. It is not always because we work too hard. Sometimes it is because we forget to recharge our energy. Think about your phone for a moment. When the battery becomes low, what do? You plug it into a charger. You give it time to recharge so it can work again. Your mind and body work in a very similar way. When you keep using your energy without resting or recharging, you slowly begin to feel tired, stressed, and unfocused. But the good news is that recharging your energy is often very simple. Sometimes it starts with something as small as a short pause. For example, imagine you are studying for a long time. Your mind slowly becomes tired. The words on the page start to look confusing. You try to continue, but it becomes harder and harder to focus. Instead of forcing yourself to continue, you take a short break. You stand up, stretch your body, drink some water, or take a short walk. After a few minutes, you return to your work. Suddenly, your mind feels clearer. This is a simple example of recharging your energy. But energy is not only physical. We also have mental and emotional energy. Many people lose energy because their mind is always busy. They worry about the future. They think about problems again and again. They compare their life with other people's lives. All of these thoughts use energy. This is why learning to protect your energy is very important. One simple way to recharge your energy is by giving your mind some quiet time. For example, you can sit quietly for a few minutes and take slow breaths. You can look outside the window and notice the sky or the trees. You can listen to calm music or take a short walk without looking at your phone. These moments may look small, but they help your mind relax. Another powerful way to recharge your energy is through movement. When you move your body, something interesting happens. Your blood flows better, your brain receives more oxygen, and your mood often improves. You do not need a difficult workout. Even a short walk, stretching, or light exercise can help your body feel more alive. Sleep is also one of the most important ways to recharge your energy. When we sleep, our body repairs itself. and our brain organizes information and recovers from the day. But many people sleep too late because they spend a lot of time on their phones or computers. Sometimes the best way to recharge your energy is simply to rest. Let me share a small personal experience. There was a time when I felt tired almost every day. I worked, studied, and tried to be productive all the time. I believed that the more I worked, the more successful I would become. So I kept pushing myself. But something strange started to happen. Even though I was busy all day, my energy became lower and lower. Simple tasks felt difficult. My mind felt heavy. And sometimes I could not focus even on easy work. One evening, I realized something important. I was trying to use energy that I never gave myself time to recharge. So I decided to change one small thing. I did not try to change my whole life. I only added small moments of rest into my day. Sometimes I took a short walk outside. Sometimes I closed my laptop and sat quietly for a few minutes. Sometimes I simply went to bed a little earlier. At first, these changes felt very small. But after a few weeks, something surprising happened. My mind felt clearer. My mood became lighter. And the work that once felt heavy suddenly became easier. That was the moment I understood something simple but powerful. Rest is not wasting time. Rest is how we recharge our energy. And when your energy returns, you can do your work much better. This is an important idea to remember. Many people try to solve tiredness by pushing themselves harder. They work more hours and force themselves to continue. But sometimes the best solution is the opposite. Instead of pushing harder, you pause, you breathe, you recharge. When your energy returns, your mind becomes clearer, your creativity improves, and your motivation grows stronger. This is why taking care of your energy is one of the most important skills in life. So, here is something simple you can try today. Notice your energy. Ask yourself a simple question. Do I need to push forward right now? Or do I need to recharge? Maybe your body needs a short walk. Maybe your mind needs a few minutes of quiet. Maybe you simply need to close your eyes and breathe slowly. These small moments of recharge may look simple, but they are powerful. Because when your energy returns, everything becomes easier. Your focus becomes stronger. Your mood becomes lighter. Your work becomes more effective. And your life becomes more balanced. So remember this simple idea. You cannot give your best energy to the world if your energy is always empty. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is recharge. Take a breath. Take a break. Give yourself a little space to recover. Because when you recharge your energy, you recharge your life.